We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the cards to get the vibes, to see what's possible, to see what energy is available to us for the week to come. Wow, it's a little bit of a hellscape out there, huh? Especially if you live in the US, and especially if you hold any marginalized identities in the US. What a week it's been for us. As always, I am here not necessarily to tell you everything is going to be okay or tell you that like you control your reality, because that's some new age BS. But I am here to help you maybe hopefully navigate through all the things that we are experiencing and find your way towards some sort of, if not peace, maybe hope. If not hope, maybe direction. And hopefully we can all get there together. And you can trust me because I'm wearing a Twilight t-shirt and sweatpants. So I'm obviously very professional, very well put together. And you can trust everything that I say, which sounded sarcastic, but you really can trust what I say. At least in part, right? Because it's not just me, it's, universe. It's the deck in front of me. It's the channel that I am facilitating that brings this information to us. But that's, getting into some esoteric thought. But before we dive in, we have 1 week left until February 1st, which is the modern day that we celebrate Imbolc, one of the Celtic fire festivals, this one honoring Bridget and starting to welcome spring, even though it is still very much winter for most of us. It's going to be amazing. Next Saturday, February 1st, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We're going to talk about Imbolc. We're going to talk about what it is, what it means, how to celebrate it. We're going to talk about Bridget, a deity, a goddess that I've been working with for coming on 5 years. And we're going to do a spell together to help invoke her energy and her inspiration and help us find our way forward for the spring. So it's going to be really incredible. I'm very excited. And then in February, I have my winter class series. So every week in February, there is a fun witchcraft class that you can come to. All the details, of course, in the episode description. I also opened up a final 10 emailed year ahead readings because those go away at the end of the week. We have until Friday to get those. So there are, I think, now 7 written year ahead readings available on my website. They are now listed for 10% off. So you can get one of those. And then you can also, of course, still book live one-on-one year ahead readings in 30 or 60-minute increments or any other type of reading. I've got lots to choose from. So if you need some help, some guidance, some hope for the times that we are in, all the links in the episode description, you get it. But let's get into this week's message, shall we? So as always, we're going to take a few minutes here at the beginning to breathe, ground, center, do what I call casting a circle, or setting container. Just call in a little bit of grounded protection to help us be present for the next 20-ish minutes that we're here together. As always, I have 4 beautiful cat children who at any point may scream or shake at this door behind me. And I have another human who lives with me. My partner might, have to yell at a cat to get away from something at any point in time. So sounds may happen, and that's just the reality that we're living in. But I invite you, and this goes for any time that you are taking a moment of silence for yourself or maybe meditating in your own space. When outside sounds inevitably come in, allowing them to move through you, allowing them to kind of be a part of your process, allowing you to acknowledge any like emotions or responses that come up when outside sounds make their way into your mind and your space. So let's begin. I'm going to close my eyes. I invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. If you'd rather just let your gaze settle down at your cheeks or like land somewhere else out in space, that's totally fine as well. Just take a couple of breaths. Feel your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. And let your awareness shift to wherever your body is making contact with the ground, whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, your back on a bed. Whatever your anchor point is, your connection to the earth. Settle your awareness there, feeling gravity hold you, the earth supporting you, the weight of your form planted firmly on the ground, anchoring you to the here and now. And here, as I call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, I invite you to imagine their essence, their force, creating a circle of protection around you. Maybe you see a ring of fire or a circle of salt, or maybe stones or flowers or mushrooms rising up from the earth. Maybe the ground opens up and fills with water. Maybe smoke rises through the air, swirling and creating a force field around you. Maybe you see something else altogether, or a combination of these things. Whatever comes to mind, whatever makes you feel most safe and held in this moment. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, the deepest roots and the tallest trees, the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, the life-giving sun, and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Wonderful. I once again have my tea with me this morning, which I think I've already taken a drink of, so I'm trying to be better about doing this on Sunday mornings, because, hey, Patreon, if you're a paid patron, you get my podcast a day early, which means I have to do it by Sunday morning at the very, very latest. So thank you for paying to subscribe on Patreon and forcing me to get my podcast done early. And if you're not already paid on Patreon, you can be by checking out the links in the episode description. Anyway, we're in our circle. Let's see what the cards have to say for us. I did hear my littlest cat, my baby cat, Angus, who is going to be 9 months old next week. I heard him do a little trilling out there while we were casting our circle. He's not very loud. Everyone else in our house is so chatty and, like, so loud. But he's very quiet unless it's dinner time and I start getting his food together. Then he gets a little louder. So I don't think you probably could have heard him, but he was out there just doing a few little trills, participating in the circle casting. Oop. Right away, throwing things on the floor. What do we have? Okay, King of Coins to start. I really like that energy as like a very grounded presence to move from. A reminder to care for ourselves and others. Five of Cups. Five of Cups has been very present lately for a lot of people. Okay, coins and cups so far. King of Coins, Five of Cups, Three of Coins, Page of Cups, the Lovers. Yeah. Two threes and two fives so far, which is both, it's like the collaboration and the conflict. Both very much present here. Of the World. Who are you? Yeah, this is all very much the vibe of the moment so far. This is one of those weeks where the cards fly out and I'm just like, yeah, this is just confirmation. Confirmation of what is happening and what needs to be done. Okay, is that it? And another five. Fives represent chaos and, again, conflict. Okay, I'm going to end it there and see what we have before us. Yeah, okay, so these cards are already hard to get off my table, and then, like, I got some nails put on last week, and so now I'm just, like, grasping for anything, really, at this point. Okay, so we have King of Coins, Five of Cups, Three of Coins, and then, as I mentioned, we have the Page of Cups and the Lovers. Five of Swords is a little bit later. We're gonna get to all that. But this King of Coins, Page of Cups, or Five of Cups, Three of Coins moment, right? As I mentioned, taking care of our resources and being able to recognize or being able to plan accordingly, like to share and care for others with those resources. So this is like that call to, I don't want to say put on your oxygen mask first. And I also don't want to say like help others before you help yourself. It's in the middle. It's recognition that like with whatever power you hold, with whatever resource you have, you can always look after at least one other person with it. As little or as much as you have power. And recognizing the power that you have and letting it ground you in the work to be done is essentially just like the only way forward. Recognizing the power you have and letting it guide you through Five of Cups, these moments of loss and grief, towards that collaboration, Three of Coins, towards the people who are in this work with you. That's the other thing, is like the King of Coins like can sometimes bring a lot of responsibility onto our shoulders, but a reminder that there's always other people willing to help get the work done. We've talked about the Three of Coins before. We might have even talked about it last week, of how it's not necessarily about finding the people with the exact same alignment as you, the exact same ideology as you. It's about finding people that have complementary skills, ideologies, whatever. I don't like the Five of Cups. I don't like it. But it also feels like this reminder that sometimes there is, I don't want to say sacrifice, but things that must be given in order to find that collaboration. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like, not about finding people who 100% align with you, but finding people who are in the same work enough that you can work towards one common goal. We see this happen a lot where people want to find community, but the community in their space, in their town, in their area isn't fully aligned with their ideology. Maybe you are a radical leftist, I don't know. And maybe you live in a small town in the Midwest, and so the only community you can find is like the official Democratic Party club. And those people are not going to fully align with you at all. But what are the things that you can work together on? And how can your being there with your knowledge and ideas that you have to share influence and help bring people along with you to an even more free future than they even think is possible? The community that we find, the people that we have to work with, we don't have to like them completely. We just have to be aligned enough to make progress. Division will get us nowhere. Which kind of brings in this Page of Cups, the Lovers, right? We also have, so like I mentioned, we have the Five of Swords and the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups kind of turns that like idea of like collaboration and like you don't have to like everyone that you're working with, reminding you that like you can still find that community, that those people that really do align and lift you up and inspire you. The Page of Cups, the Lovers. Leading with the heart. Leading with love. I think I've talked about this before too. I know I always say like, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's because I like genuinely don't usually remember what I said in the week before. And I edit the captions, I post it, and then I don't know what happens after that. But Page of Cups and the Lovers. All the choices that you need to make can be made with the lead of your heart. Logic definitely has a play here, but finding the compassion and connection that you have with others will be so much more effective than letting the things that separate you, that divide you, cloud your vision of what is to come. If you let your heart lead, if you let yourself be open, even the people who at first don't seem like they're going to be a good fit for you, the more you talk to them, the more you get to know them, the more you interact with them, the likelier it is that that connection will build to something even more meaningful. Will help you find that alignment, that unity, that harmony. Again, it is not about what divides us. It is about what unites us. So this Five of Swords, I've definitely talked about the Five of Swords before. This Five of Swords of knowing when it's freaking worth it. Is it worth it to be right in this situation? Is it worth it to sever? And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Is it worth it to sever yourself completely from someone else who is maybe just not as informed as you by picking up your sword and attacking them from all directions to make them feel inferior? so that you can feel, I don't know, better, more knowledgeable? Or is it better to open your heart? Where to go? Page of Cups. Or is it better to listen and, again, approach with compassion? And again, sometimes it is necessary. It's a choose your battles situation. Know when your energy is better spent with love than with anger. And I am not against anger. Anger can be a really powerful driving force. And sometimes it hurts you more than it hurts the person you are interacting with in anger. So just choose your battles. And not choose your battles as much as know when to change your approach to the battle. Know when the battle is public and forceful and done with words. And again, know when it is done with heart. Because if you approach everything with this energy of domination, you will likely not get as far as you want to. Yeah, Knight of Wands. 8 of Swords. And then, as I said, we also have the 5 of Wands. And then our last card is a 2 of Cups. After the 5 of Wands. Which is just the best. So yeah, Knight of Wands, 8 of Swords. Okay. Once again, I have to clarify. I don't believe that you can control every aspect of your reality. There are, of course, oppressive systems and institutions that keep many of us oppressed. And when you choose to let your passion actually ignite and blaze, when you awaken to your power, the bindings that are put on you by outside forces, or the bindings that become obvious you have put upon yourself, are that much easier to break through. Again, there are many, many things that we don't have control over that keep us contained and blocked. And our internalized repetition of I can't do this because this often pulls those bindings tighter than they ever were to begin with. So really take inventory of what is a real versus perceived block. And then let your passion, let your fire, let your love, let your anger start to burn through them and show you the way forward to freedom, but like as much freedom as you can get in this moment, in this situation. Again, 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups. This kind of brings that energy of the sometimes the argument can be productive, but it's that balance. Why are you having this conversation? Are you having this conversation out of desire to actually bring this person in? Are you having these conversations? Are you engaging in these fights out of love and the desire to truly connect? Or are you doing it because you want to show them something? Because you want to feel superior to them? I just had another sentence come through my mind and then completely lost it. Oh, I saw a post, I think earlier this week, that's said something along the lines of some of us are leftists out of hate of the oppressor, and some of us are leftists out of love for the oppressed. And that is a really interesting thing to reflect on and grapple with. Are you engaging in this work out of love and desire for us all to be connected and free? Or are you doing it out of hatred? And are you okay with whichever one you end up with? The difference between a productive battle or argument and one that goes south fast is the intention. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands. If you are constantly approaching things with force, you will simply find yourself alone at the end. Invite more ease and invite more love. Okay. I feel personally a little attacked, LOL. Which I always say when people say that on like my videos, is like, okay, called out. It's like, it's not a call out. The tarot is not calling you out. It is just inviting reflection. But I don't know about y'all, but this Mars retrograde has me freaking fighting. So this is a very welcome message for me as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and close the circle. You can once again join me in closing your eyes if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths. Reimagine that elemental circle around you. Fire, salt, stone, plants, water, smoke. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth, blowing away that circle. Dissipating air, scattering salt, extinguishing fire, sending water, stone, plants sinking back into the earth, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I send the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though my energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Wonderful. Okay, my friends. That's all for this week. I have a feeling that our messages are going to continue to have similar vibes for the foreseeable future. Just remember to recognize your power, to take care of yourself and take care of those around you. And hopefully we'll get through it. As a reminder, I mentioned it briefly, but my Patreon, it's live. It's been live for a week. I have just a little handful of members, and it's a great fun time. I'm already considering a couple different benefits that I might be adding. But for now, at different levels, you get a free monthly Q&A. You get a free facilitated full moon ritual workshop. You get free readings, again, depending on what level you subscribe at. So, lots of fun things happening all over the place. Again, all the links in the episode description. Whoa, you get it. I just threw my cards on the table again. That's it. I'll stop talking now. I'll let you go. I hope you have an incredible rest of your week, and I will see you next time.